So, I've been playing around with Grounded, the new Microsoft game made by Obsidian Entertainment, and is one of the best game preview games on the Game Pass or any Xbox game preview I've played in a while. This game has a lot of things going for it in terms of different gameplay styles. So, what is Grounded? Grounded is a first person or third person survival game where it's like Honey Shrank the Kids. You are now trying to survive. You're basically smaller than grass. You can collect different items, build bases, attack enemies, and there's a story to unfold, which is kind of short-sighted, being that it's still pretty early. The game is still in game preview, which most people, if you don't know what a game preview is, basically paying for an alpha. But since it's being backed by Microsoft and it's also being developed by bigger studios, Obsidian Entertainment, they're definitely going to be fleshing out this game for a full retail release. You basically pay a discounted price to get a game early, and then when the game comes out full, you get the game basically for a discounted price. That's what a game preview essentially is, or an alpha, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, there's a lot of great content, a lot of exploration, and a bunch of other great content to start you off. First things off, I loved being able to see the ants. You're small. The humor's there. It's not quite on par. There's not a lot of new dialogue choices. There's multiplayer and single player right off the back, and the multiplayer is actually very, very good. I will say one of the things about this game is to play with your friends, build bases, kill animals, and all that other stuff. I will say that is a fun and best part of this game. There is 4 playable characters that you can choose of, 2 girls and 2 guys. One's a dork named Pete. One's Matt. I forget the 2 girls' names. They're pretty unique. They all have their special dialogues. You have to maintain health, hunger, and water. And water, I would say, is probably a little bit more harder to come by. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of water around, but if you drink it, you lose hunger. So there you can find water droplets on grass and find it off from like punch boxes and stuff like that. When you get a juice box water, it also fills some of your hunger as well as water at the same time. So that was probably one of the more unique things that I saw. Although even on normal difficulty, when I ran out of hunger and water, you'd only get damaged so much up until you have like 1 HP, but you would never die. I'm not exactly sure if that's a bug or an intended mechanic. Can't die from hunger and water, even on medium difficulty. You might be able to in the higher difficulty levels. You can build armor, which is pretty much a necessity for combat if you go to attack spiders, larvae, bombarding bugs. I forget exactly some of the names of these, and I apologize for that. But there's a lot of unique enemies, give you better weapons, better freaking upgrades for, like, say, your axe and hammers and stuff like that. And I gotta say, the map it's pretty decent for what you get off the back. They're going to be adding possibly the chance for you to go inside the house that you can see. You can't go inside the shed. I found an Easter egg where you could go right through the shed, and there's like a little picture of a guy back there. It's kind of weird. So they did intend for some people to see the Easter egg, but you can just fall through the map and then die. So it's kind of weird. But there's some sections that are kind of blocked off or have, say, under construction from now. And like I said, it's a game preview, so there's still things that have to be implemented, like new wet areas, or maybe even a bigger backyard, even more exploration. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's a whole backyard for you to discover eventually when the game fully releases. But at the time, there's still a lot to discover and a lot of secrets that you can find. There's tunnels to go into. Abandoned ant holes that you can go into. There's a little bit of a story that starts off really good and then kind of just ends abruptly. It's very short, but it kind of gives you like a tutorial on how to start how to basically build a base. There's this stuff called raw science where you can actually get it and you can unlock new blueprints and go on quests to find markers which give you new areas and stuff like that. That's all really fun. The game is really has this exploration vibe that kept me going, and I love base building personally. This game kind of reminds me of Ark Survival Evolved and The Forest at the same time, kind of, because you can chop down, like, instead of it being trees, you chop down a leaf, like grass, and you can carry the grass on your shoulder. In that game, you can only do 2 logs. This one, you can do 5 grass. So, I mean, it's kind of the same sort of concept. You can't tame or kill any of the bugs that I'm aware of. I played the game for, I think, like 20, 25 hours within the last week, and it's been a load of fun. There's so much stuff to do, so much to discover. The best part of the game is literally just getting lost in the exploration, going into new areas, finding Easter eggs, finding new scabs for your stuff, finding new elements to make new weapons, taking a risk to kill spiders and other enemies that you were kind of afraid to attack. And I will say, if you do have arachnophobia, which is a fear of spiders, do not freaking play this game, because the spiders are actually pretty creepy at first, especially when you're kind of defenseless and don't have armor. There's a couple different spiders, stink bugs, that are pretty freaking hard to kill, and you need pretty decent weapons and better armor. Than I found, like the acorn armor, which suited me well for a lot of the combat scenarios. But at the same time, you can only attack them so much. Like one of the weaker spiders, not the wolf spider, you can kill pretty easily. And there is a lab that I couldn't unlock. I couldn't figure out if you could unlock it or not. That was filled with those freaking spiders. Then you can kill them. And like I said, if you kill a spider, you can maybe make a spider blade. I know you can make spider armor and stuff like that, but it's just something that's down the line that you have to eventually kill, take risks to make it worth surviving and exploring, because there's so much to explore and solve and go through bushes and find new areas. And that's probably one of its key strong points of the game, is exploration and playing with your friends, because you have the multiplayer aspect. The single player is all right, but definitely right where it's at right now, especially being on the Game Pass. Anybody that really wants to just play it and you have the Game Pass, you can hop on multiplayer and play with your friends. That's the best part of this so far. The single player seems like it's going to be a pretty ambitious story when the game fully releases, because right now it's like literally you get out, you find this machine, you cut down 2 of the things, you open a lab, and then bam, that's it. So when the game fully releases, we'll do another review of the full story and all that stuff and the 100% completionist, because right now you can't 100% complete the game because it's not complete yet. So when that fully comes out, make sure you subscribe, because we'll be doing that video in the future when it fully releases. Also, if you want to see some other gameplay and stuff like that from new releases, make sure you subscribe, like the video. It really helps me out a lot. Comment what you guys think about Grounded if you guys have been playing it. It's been pretty fun for me, and I want to hear about what you guys think in the comment section below. Right now, I give this game about an 8 out of 10. I need more content, but that's, of course, it's a game preview. So whether or not we get to see more great content in the future is completely up to Obsidian Entertainment, which I will have no doubt they'll do a fantastic job. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.